What is up guys, Newlimits here, and today I will be bringing you a T16 and bounty speed farming build using the Bone Spear set for the Necromancer. I really hope you guys enjoyed the build guide. Make sure to like the video if you do. It can help me to know if this is the type of content you guys like to see other than my leveling guides. I want to thank you for watching, and let's get right into it. Alright, so for the skills we are using Devour. You're emitting an aura that consumes nearby corpses to restore essence per corpse, so we're using Devouring Aura. The range of this effect is increased by your gold pickup radius. We are using the Avarice Band in the cube. This is going to make our aura insanely big. Just like we are using the Aura of Frailty, it's gonna be the same concept. The range of this effect is increased by your gold pickup radius. You're emitting an aura that applies a crippling curse which kills enemies within 15 yards with less than 15% health. So this is just gonna be really helpful to kill everything off or to make sure everything dies. Also, if you are applying a curse with the Simulacrum, because you get all the runes, while active your curse skills now apply all 3 curses, so that's really nice. Your maximum essence is increased by 100% while your Simulacrum is active. If you would die with the Simulacrum active, instead the Simulacrum is destroyed and you are fully healed. This is not very useful because once the Simulacrums are dead, you're gonna die anyways. Life cost for skills are reduced by 75%, we don't really use that. And Blood and Bone now also creates a Simulacrum of Bone, but the duration is reduced to 10 seconds. So you're gonna get all the runes for Simulacrum, so Simulacrum no longer takes damage, gains all runes, and its cooldown is refreshed when you die. While you have a Simulacrum active, damage is reduced by 50%. Damage you take is split with your Simulacrums as well, so you're gonna get a really nice toughness boost. And your Bone Spear deals 10,000% increased damage. Simulacrums gains triple the bonus, so that's really nice. We're gonna be using a Blood Rush, Hemostasis. Why do we use Hemostasis? Because we can use our Blood Rush quite often together with the Ingiam. Your skill cooldowns are reduced by 10 seconds for 15 seconds after killing an elite. If you were to not remove the health cost, you probably won't die, but you will get lower. Now, of course, you are immune to damage because you have the gold trap. On gold pickup, gain armor for 5 seconds equals to the amount picked up. We're using that in combination with the Boon of the Hoarder, which also gonna drop a lot of gold when you kill an enemy. Everything on the screen will die, so you're gonna get gold very easily. And combined with the Avarice Bands, you're gonna pick everything up, so you're gonna be pretty much immortal and you just cannot die once you pick up gold. So you're not really gonna be dying, but this is just to make sure that you don't lose any health or anything, so this is just a safety. We're using Bone Armor, Harvest of Anguish, the Cold Rune. Rip bones from nearby enemies, dealing 125% weapon damage. Now, it doesn't really matter, we don't really need it for the damage reduction. We just use it for the movement speed that we gain. So Bone Armor also increases your movement speed by 1% for each enemy it hit. So we're gaining movement speed here, and we're combining this with our Phylactery. Your cold skills reduce the movement speed of enemies by 30%, which could also procure Crisban's Sentence if you are using that. In addition, your movement speed is increased by 10% for 5 seconds, maximum 5 stacks. So you're gaining a massive movement speed boost when you're using cold skills. This is the only cold skill that we are using on the bar, so you definitely want to make sure that you use this as often as you can. You will get this off cooldown pretty much every single time because we're using Ingiam. So you're gonna get this, it's a really nice combination, you're gonna be really fast. And of course, for our main damage we are using Bone Spear. I prefer to use the Teeth rune because it's basically the multi-shot for the Necromancer. Launch razor sharp teeth that deal 300% weapon damage as physical to enemies in front of you. Now, it is the least damaging rune for Bone Spear, but you have a massive AoE, and if you are using the Simulacrums as well, as you can see, it covers a lot of area on the screen, so it's just really nice. You're gonna be hitting quite a lot. For Torment 6, your damage is more than sufficient enough. You really don't need a crazy amount of damage to be clearing that. So for our passives, we are using Spreading Malediction, because your aura for your Frailty is gonna be enormous. You're gonna hit a lot of enemies with your curses, and it's just gonna give you that extra bit of damage, so you receive 1% damage bonus for each enemy afflicted by one of your curses. Serration, Bone Spikes, Bone Spear, and it's basically for the Bone Spear. deals 1% increased damage for every 1.5 yards from you, up to a maximum of 20%. We're using Fueled by Death. Consuming a corpse increases your movement speed by 3% for 5 seconds. And we're using Bone Prison. Bone Prison is just used because of the Crisbans. You deal 88 or 100 if you're lucky, increased damage against slowed enemies, or triple this bonus against enemies afflicted by any other type of control impairing effect. So the Bone Prison counts as any other control impairing effect, so our damage will be tripled. So that is why we also use this. Alright, so for the cube, we are using Maltoria's Petrified Spike. Bone Spear now costs 40 essence and deals 700% increased damage. We're using Steward's Greaves. You gain 100% increased movement speed for 10 seconds after using Blood Rush. So you're gonna move incredibly fast when you are using your Blood Rush. And you can spam your Blood Rush because you have Ingiam. We're using the Avarice Band, which is gonna make the auras huge. It's gonna make us super tanky with the gold pickup radius, so it's just gonna be really nice. And we're using Ingiam. Your skill cooldowns are reduced by 10 seconds for 15 seconds after killing an elite. That's gonna mean that we just basically have no cooldowns if we killed an elite, so that is also really nice. What you could possibly do, if you feel like you don't have enough damage, you could change it up to Relina's Shadow Hook, if you want. Every point of maximum essence increases your damage by 0.5%, and Bone Spike generates 5 additional essence. So you could go for this one, but then you have to make sure that you have plus maximum essence on your weapon and on your phylactery. Or what you could also do is go for Tragul's Corroded Fang. The Cursed Scythe rune for Grim Sight now has 100% chance to apply a curse, and you deal 200% increased damage to cursed enemies. And of course you're gonna curse pretty much everything with your aura, so this is also a really good option if you want to be using that. But I like to go for the Ingiam just because of the cooldowns, and it just feels a lot smoother that way. But if you don't have the damage for it, you can definitely go for those two options. It is really nice. And the Steward's Greaves, if you feel like you have enough movement speed, of course with the Harvest of Anguish and with the Phylactery, if you feel like you have enough movement speed, also with Ingiam and with all the Blood Rush and stuff, you could swap Steward's Greaves out for Nemesis Bracers. So you can go for Nemesis Bracers. Shrines and Pylons will spawn an enemy champion. It is really nice with the Shadow Clones, of course. It's a really nice combination. So that is also something that you could definitely go for. Alright, so I'm gonna talk a little bit about some variations that you can do. You can also put in the Sage set. So this doubles the amount of Dead's Breath that drop. It's really nice. You can craft these at the blacksmith. You're gonna have to pair that up with a Ring of Royal Grandeur to be able to get the 3rd set and the 6th set from your Bone Spear set. What you also want to do is you want to change the convention of elements to a Avarice Band. So you're still going to be able to use the Boon of the Hoarder. And what you also want to do is change the Steward's Greaves if you want to, depending on how tanky you are. And you can change that into the Gold Wrap in the cube to make it so that you are really tanky and you basically can die. And what you might also want to do is your Crisbans, if you would like, if you don't have it or you want something else, you can also go for a Stone of Jordan. This is going to give you a lot of damage, and a convention of elements, for example, is a lot of spike damage, so you won't have any extra damage, and then you'll have like an insane increased damage once you have your elemental damage. The Stone of Jordan is basically just always more damage, so it's just very consistent. So it depends on what you like, but you can definitely go for that option as well. Alright, so for the gear, you definitely just want to have as much damage as you can. This build does not rely on cooldown whatsoever, and all the cooldown that you will need is from your Ingiam, so you really don't need any cooldown on your gear at all. What you would want to focus on is purely damage, so area damage is really nice because you have a lot of area damage that you are covering with your teeth. You would like to have critical hit chance, critical hit damage, that's also really nice. Some attack speed doesn't hurt, it can be used for sure. So on our side of the cycle, we want just purely damage, area damage, percent damage, intelligence, and if you're using Relina Shadow Hook, you want that maximum essence. If you're not using it, it really doesn't matter. For the Phylactery, you want critical hit chance, and you want to have Bone Spear damage on this one. Intelligence is also really nice, so you just want to be focusing mainly on the damage. For your convention of elements, you want to have area damage, critical hit chance, attack speed is also fine. For the other ring, exactly the same thing. Here you want to be as close to 400% if you can on your Gelmindor's Marrow Guards. And of course you want to have your elemental damage, physical damage, and critical hit chance. On your amulet, I'm using this one because I don't have one with physical damage, but you want physical damage, you want critical hit chance, critical hit damage. For your headpiece, you want intelligence, you want critical hit chance, you want bone spear damage. For your chest piece, you want intelligence, vitality, and armor. For your belt, you want intelligence, vitality, life, and armor. For your pants, you want intelligence, vitality, armor. For your boots, you want intelligence, vitality, armor, and bone spear damage. On your gloves, you would like to have intelligence, area damage, critical hit chance, or even area damage, attack speed, critical hit damage, critical hit chance, if that would be possible. But the intelligence is fine on it, depends on your paragon level, of course. And for the shoulders, you can go for intelligence, vitality, armor, and some all resource cost reduction. So that's really nice. You could also opt in for area damage. Alright, and for your shoulders, you definitely want intelligence, vitality, area damage, and a resource cost reduction. So I have armor on this one, but you want area damage for the extra damage if you really want to make sure that that your build is really nice. Alright, so for the gems, we're using Z-Stones of Vengeance. This is gonna create more damage the further away we hit an enemy. Because we are using the teeth, we are killing everything on screen, so everything that is far away, so the Z-Stones is gonna be really nice with that one. We're using the Bane of the Trapped, increase damage against enemies under the effect of control impairing effects. So this is also a really nice one. Control impairing effects we are applying with the Bone Prison. We're applying this with the Cold Rune from our Bone Armor. We're also applying this with the stun from the Z-Stones, because 20% chance on hit to stun the enemies for 1 second. So we have some ways to apply this one. And we're using, of course, the Boon of the Hoarder, which is gonna give us a lot of gold when we kill an enemy. It's gonna pick it up. This is why this build works so well. And we're also gonna gain movement speed. So that is also a really nice one. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, don't forget to hit that like button. This is not the content that I normally do because I like to do leveling guides, but in the season it might be a little bit weird to be doing leveling guides all the time. So I wanted to do some speed farming builds. So if you enjoyed it, please let me know so I know that these types of videos are really nice for you guys. And yeah, I just want to thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.